So let's say you have to do prepared reading from this story, The Late Bud. And it's very difficult. You feel a bit nervous because you've got to do it in class. You've got to stand in front. You've got to make eye contact. You've got to pronounce the English words correctly, even though you're Afrikaans. And you feel, you're nervous basically. So let me give you some tips. Can you see on this page, I made a photostat of the story. And you can use pencil if you don't want to use pen. You can use pencil in your book. And you're literally going to underline sections. You're breaking it down for yourself. You underline the sections where you've decided you want to add the most emphasis, the most drama, the most variations in your voice. And those spaces or those places where you're going to emphasize are very often where the character type is very clear. So your protagonist's character or your antagonist's character. So here, for instance, at the top of the page, this is where your protagonist is saying to her friends, don't irritate me by questioning the fact that I can't go and run an errand for my mom and get to church in time because I want to do it. I've got the willpower to do it. I'm a headstrong person, and if I set my mind to something, I want to do it. And don't question the fact that I can't be efficient and that I can't multitask. So that's what she's saying there. So you've got to understand what is driving her to say it. Then you'll actually get the expression right. So let's try. She's got a little bit of irritation because she's feeling irritated that they're questioning her. So she's saying, yes, but I will try to get it done in time to go to church as well. And then the friends answer, one of the twins, but you cannot. Do you know the pit? It is very far away. Everyone will already be at church by the time we get back. See, now they're trying to warn her. They're getting a bit irritated as well with her stubbornness. And then the writer explains her reaction. Yaba stood quietly, digging her right toe into the hard ground beneath her. See, even there, you've got to let some of that irritation and frustration come through. And then she answers, it doesn't matter. I will go. Come and wake me up. And then they sort of decide, oh, well, we have to go with this because this is our friend who's got the strong personality and what she says is law, so we'll just have to follow her. Then they say, where do you sleep? You see, they resigned now to the plan, but still a bit irritated. Under my mother's window. I will wake up if you hit the window with a small pebble. We will come to call you. You see a little bit of a sigh there. So you can sort of improvise it. You can sort of think how they might respond in a situation like this. When Yaba arrived home, they had already finished eating the evening meal. Now you know, here's more drama on the way because she's late for supper. Adwa had arrived from an errand, it seemed. In fact, she had gone on several others. So here, huge thorn in the side of the protagonist is her sister Adwa, who's the goody two-shoes, who's getting everything right. Yaba was slinking like a cat to take her food, which she knew would be under the wooden bowl, when Mommy saw her. See, now you've got to actually show, Mommy's so cross and irritated with her daughter. Because her daughter's sort of non-compliant. Her daughter's naughty. Yes, go and take it. You're hungry, are you not? And very soon you will be swallowing that huge lump of fufu as quickly as a hen would swallow corn. See, now she's very scornful with her daughter because that's how she feels. She actually despises her daughter by this stage. Sy verafskeid haar dogter. Yaba stood still. Who inflicted on me such a child? Look here, Yaba. You're growing, so be careful how you live your life. Now you get the real problem that the mom has is that she's worried that her daughter is too free and too wayward and too sort of independent to be a proper lady, a lady who sort of behaves herself and doesn't get into trouble. And what she's trying to say is, you're going to actually attract the wrong attention from men. You're going to attract the wrong men. You're going to get maybe abused as a consequence. She's got fears for her daughter, but it's coming out as anger. It's not coming out as worry. When you're 10 years old, you are not a child anymore. And a woman that lives on the playground is not a woman. If you were a boy, it would be bad enough. But for a girl, it is a curse. The house cannot hold you. Chi. That chi is almost like, poof. It's like she's actually giving up. It's like a little bit of a, oh, I can't stand this situation. Yaba crept into the outer room. She saw the wooden bowl. She turned it over, and as she had known all the time, her food was there. So here you can see the mom still actually feeding her, even though she's so irritated. She swallowed it more quickly than a hen would have swallowed corn. So you see, this is the mom's the mom is actually getting the daughter to act in a certain way by sort of rejecting her the whole time. So the daughter's like this sort of stranger, like this uninvited guest who has to come into the house and eat her meal quickly. So then what happens is that then the daughter goes to bed without washing. We find out later she goes to bed without washing herself, and that is really the thing that actually makes the mother crack, because the mother's obviously tied at the house all day and is house proud, and now her daughter, who she feels is a rebel, has just gone to bed without washing, and that really, really infuriates her. So now, this is the moment of conflict where she hits her daughter. So here you've got to have a lot of drama as well. Crash went her fists into the sleeping figure of her daughter. "You lazy, lazy thing," she cried. "You good for nothing, empty corn husk of a daughter." So you could almost spit the words out there because she's furious. She's so cross. And then you can go down and you can variate it a bit. And then you come to this line where the reaction of the daughter is seen. But now Yaba was wide awake and tearless. So there's got to be some dread in that idea of tearless, because she's not reacting in the normal way where she's crying. She's so hard. She's hardened herself towards her mother, so she doesn't cry. Who said she was screaming anyway? She stared at Mommy with shining, tearless eyes. So there's that absolute venom coming back from the daughter. See, so that's how you've got to sort of unpack it and decide what are the emotions that you're going to try and highlight. And then you can go on, the next page, you can underline the next section where you want to really put in a lot of emphasis. Yaba saw the figure of Adwa lying peacefully there. This is you've got to be extremely delicate with this reading, because this is where the antagonist, the sister who irritates her, is lying peacefully like a little angel, and that's really what gets her emotions to come out. She just can't stand the fact that she can't win over her mother because she's not so good. She's not as angelic as her sister. It was then her eyes misted. The tears flowed from her eyes each time she wiped them with a cloth, but more came. You see, very gentle, very beautiful, because that's actually the climax of the story where she cracks. She's like, I can't carry on like this. I can't carry on being so stubborn and obstinate, because I envy, I'm jealous of my sister who's so good. How does she manage to be so good? Why am I so naughty? So this is the climax of the change where the protagonist is going to now take a different route in the story, because she can no longer carry on being as stubborn. It just doesn't work for her anymore. So she's come to some sort of inner realization. And you see, so when the character comes to that horrible inner realization where it's like her whole world is changing inside, that's where you've got to be extremely gentle and delicate and like really bring slowness, a little bit of slowness to the reading, and really like read from your heart, because that's where we should be feeling the most concern for this character, because she's now under such duress. Sy is onder sulke druk nou sy moet nou verander. En is moeilik. Sy's jonk, sy's 10. Wie wil op 10 nou verander? En goed, en mooi en oulik wees en 'n nice girl wees as jy daar al so lank nie 'n baie goeie kind was nie. So you see, so that's how you can do it. You can take a story and you just try and analyze the emotions and the conflict, and you underline the bits that you feel you want to really put your vuma into, and then it's going to feel a lot easier than staring at a whole page. I hope that helped.